So the iPhone 14s have just came out, and you might be wondering which specific iPhone 14 you should actually go and buy. So I'm going to go and create somewhat of a small buying guide. This isn't going to be super crazy, but to give you some perspective, if you have all of the money in the world, as I mentioned before, going for the most expensive iPhones, the Pro models this year, makes the most amount of sense. If you're planning on buying something like an iPhone 14, but you can afford a 14 Pro, this year is a little bit more interesting because the differences between a standard 14 and a 14 Pro is actually pretty massive, to be honest. Now, I will tell you first of all, the differences between a 14 and a 13 aren't really even that high. So if you already have an iPhone 13 or a 13 Pro, I would not really go to the 14 or 14 Pro, to be honest. Like I said, I don't think there's too many crazy differences there, even though the notches and everything are different. Now, the 14 and 14 Plus, I think these two iPhones are pretty, they're okay for the $799 and $899 price respectively. I think if you're somebody who plans on playing a lot of games and, using the camera at a high level and using this as a primary phone for the next 5-6 years, then this is a really good option. There's really not too much to hate on this phone, and honestly, it's kind of a no-brainer. The only things you're kind of missing out on, though, and this is some really important things, is that it doesn't really have a telephoto lens, which, can't really be that big of a deal depending on a lot of people out there. But if you want the best camera, the Pros are definitely the better ones. The 14, the standard one, I would recommend to somebody who, you're planning on charging your phone every single day. You're planning on going on Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, those types of applications, and you plan on playing some games every once in a while on your device. If you're somebody like that, which is like 95% of people, the iPhone 14 is going to be perfectly fine for you. Now, the Plus, on the other hand, is a little bit more different. So with the 14 Plus, and this is basically for people who want to take advantage of a phone with a bigger display. So you want a phone that has, bigger display, has all that good stuff, but also you're somebody who wants to take advantage of a phone with bigger battery. The iPhone 14 Plus has probably the best battery life, according to Apple, from any iPhone ever. So if you're somebody who falls in line with that, well, then the 14 Plus makes a lot more sense to me to recommend to people rather than the 14. But it is a bigger phone, so that is something to keep in mind. If you're not comfortable carrying around a big phone, then obviously the iPhone 14 is perfectly fine. The differences between a 14 and a 14 Plus really only come down to the size of the phone and the battery life that you're getting with the 14 Plus. Now, the Pro models, these are the best iPhones ever made. These are beautiful, and these are probably the best iPhones you could probably ever buy for the next year or so. I mean, I don't even see what Apple could be doing for the next few years, considering that the new dynamic island, which is the replacement of the notch, this is pretty much going to be Apple sunk a bunch of money to highlight this, so I doubt they're going to be removing it for the next few years. Now with the 14 Pro, this is pretty much just like with the 14. You're getting the newer chipset inside, so the A16 Bionic chip over the A15 that's in the 14. You're getting probably more RAM, you're getting a better display with ProMotion, and you're getting a way better camera setup on this thing too. There are some similar camera features between both, but the 14 Pro definitely has the better camera here. You're also getting better performance, and it's probably going to be a longer lasting phone on the 14 Pro over something like the standard 14. Now, just like how I said before with the 14 and 14 Plus, the difference is there. The 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max are realistically going to be the exact same differences. So the 14 Pro Max is going to be the same phone with the 14 Pro, but it's going to be giving you better battery life, and it's going to be giving you a bigger phone overall as well. So that is another thing. If you want a phone that's bigger with a much bigger battery, well then the 14 Pro Max makes a lot more sense to me. But like I mentioned before, if you're somebody who wants a smaller phone and smaller size, the 14 Pro is probably the perfect phone for everybody. I've been using the 13 Pro for a long time, and I love this phone. The Pro models are perfect for me. The Pro Maxes are a little bit bigger, but it is something to kind of keep in mind. If you're not comfortable with the bigger, display, then something like the smaller one is probably going to be the thing that makes the most amount of sense. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.